Hello, this is Renee Kent Miller, and we're here to start Chapter 7, pages 141 to 143 of The Augmentation of Man, A Study in Renaissance. And so this chapter is going to be about vibration. We're going to start with our vibrational signature. So, Kent?
All atoms, at their most basic level, including the subatomic structures, are merely vibrating energy.
That is at the basic level.
It's a basic level. All atoms of a particular vibration congregating together, making the basis of any given element in our material world, from the light, airy gases, to the densest of minerals that make up Earth's element table.
The elemental table. But vibration goes beyond our physical world, and we're on this vibrational journey. So our vibrational levels are correlated with levels of vibrational understanding, and that includes our thoughts, how we understand our world, events.
And when we incarnate, we extend our learning about vibration to this physical realm called an experiential learning field. We're learning about language, math, and science.
And so we're also learning through the events in our lives that we consciously or unconsciously create. And that results, our decisions are what cause those events. And more often than not, it's due to a lack of understanding.
They're usually unwelcome. The result of our decisions cause us to pause and reflect on these events or decisions, not only the outcome, but also the decisions that led up to the final event.
So we need to go back and really evaluate not only the event itself, but all the decisions that were made that led up to the event. That's where the real learning is at. So the learning that comes out of this reflection expands our conscious vibrational understanding and results in our own vibrational attunements that reflect our newfound understanding level.
Yeah, so in essence, when we say we are on a vibrational journey, our souls are studying all forms of vibration, and everything is vibration. So we're studying everything.
So we're in this vibrational field, and we ourselves are vibration. And we are studying all events. Events are vibration. The interactions that we have between people, our thoughts, and the corrections are attunements, which are corrections to our understanding, which helps us to align to a deeper level of truth. So even
our souls have a unique vibrational signature. Every soul has a unique vibrational signature, which is how we unconsciously identify each other when, say, we meet or cross paths for the first time, recognizing the other souls at that level.
At the soul level. So we tend to, we get excited about people that we just gravitate to. And that's a part of the process. We are recognizing each other from past times, past lives, and it's at the soul level. We just kind of gravitate to each other.
Prior to our birth, we design the life experiences we wish to experience and learn before we come here, and the purpose of it. A vibrational attunement is received from other souls before we leave the area, who understand the vibration needed to open the door to these experiences. Either they have gone through it or they understand it at that particular time.
So these other souls give us a vibrational attunement prior to entering this world. And that is what opens the door for those experiences to happen. So the Hicks, the Abraham series, what they taught us about vibration is the magnet, and we attract like vibration. And we're going to take that a step further and say, it's not necessarily about the material world. This is for our learning experiences. So we attract people at the same vibration we are at, which equates to the same level of understanding. We're kind of on the same level, right? And we attract events into our lives. It's our vibration or our level of understanding or lack of understanding that attracts these events in our lives for further learning experiences.
Once in this learning field, our vibration is altered slightly with each learning experience. These are the attunements that we receive.
So each experience, once we reflect, if we do our inner reflection and we come to understand these experiences and why we're having them, then we will have a vibrational attunement that will mirror that newfound understanding.
Slightly new vibration opens the door to more possibilities in that field of vibration.
In that
parameter.
Within that level.
The quantum events that are available within the individual learning field, and making it so the charged atoms within the energy field go try to transform these new possibilities and probabilities within the parameters into actual events.
And this is the true manifesting, right? So it enacts this movement of charged atoms within the energy field, changing probabilities into the actual events.
One can have many paths available, but it's limited.
But they can have limited events.
Well, limited events go with limited paths. So the learning is achieved. All learning and events are intended for our conscious evolution. It is the purpose of our existence and the purpose of what the Creator wanted for us.
So our vibrational signatures reflect who we are based on the totality of life's experiences. Yeah, the experiences that we directly or indirectly chose, consciously or unconsciously attract into our lives for learning purposes. Once learning has been gained, we receive a vibrational attunement to a slightly higher level each time.
Each is unique.
Our vibrational signature.
Mm-hmm. It's equivalent to a thumbprint that we use today in crime scenes. We send out our vibrational signature into the atmosphere and to the areas outside of this world and inside this world, or around our physical bodies, and it travels outward into the field, crossing the paths of all things that are living and things that we might not consider living, such as stones, rocks, but all have living organisms within them. And it crosses their paths and set up the possibilities within the parameter of the field that we have not yet even determined.
So this vibration we're constantly emitting, and it's tied to our levels of understanding or our lack of understanding. And it is going out into the field and just keeps traveling out, kind of like the ripples in a pond, and it is interfacing with all living things.
It stays within the parameters for that particular experience.
Right. So
it doesn't just go out in all directions as far as it may.
Well, it goes out, but yeah, it stays within certain parameters so that you're not presented with a lesson that you're not prepared to be able to understand.
The ability to observe other people's lessons and things of that nature in the signature, such as you walk into a store or something and you recognize this person, but you've never seen him before. You recognize him at a soul level, can give clues to future cause and effect. or future events that may happen to
Right.
create the learning process.
I think too is that we can watch and observe other people's behaviors and kind of predict where those behaviors might lead to certain experiences further down the road for learning purposes for those people. So the people watching and observing their vibration can also be something that we can learn from ourselves.
Corrections to our understanding as we come to understanding deeper truth. And that's the truth as we see it at the time, or what we call
The attunements.
attunements. Our vibrations and our degree of understanding are attuned to our bodies, our physical bodies that we now have. All matter within the universe provides a structural makeup to support the movement of energies that promote a continuous expansion of universal consciousness. This includes the suns, the planets, the nebula, and even things such as comets or asteroids. All particles in the universe contribute to this. One of the
Everything is like a structure that helps to move energy along or affects energy vibrationally to cause or direct the energy pathways towards certain events for learning.
One of
So
the
that's how
structures.
that's how astronomy plays a part in all of
So
this.
one of the energy structures that exist is called a quadruplex. It's quadruplex. The quadruplex measures the signatures given off from each human and many things outside of the outside of our planet in the universe that directs the flow of energy within the quantum fields and possibilities into events for learning for each individual here on Earth and individuals in other planets and areas, which we haven't considered but should be considered as part of the learning process.
This is this quadruplex is a structure within the atmosphere, and as far as we know, it's not something that we can visibly see. And what it's doing is it's measuring our level of understanding and our conscious level. And it's also like multiplied by the mass consciousness. And it correlates with the planetary alignments. So how do the planets,
Mass consciousness.
how do the planets influence what's going on here? It's because as they move in their orbits, they are interacting vibrationally.
If there are entities on other planets and their mass consciousness comes up with whatever, does it influence the mass consciousness of this planet?
I don't know. It's the planets themselves that put out a vibrational energy that influences as it's rotating and it's in our proximity. It's influencing events that are happening here for our further development.
You said the word, in our proximity.
Right.
So it's not within our solar system, our galaxy, but it's probably within our solar system.
We don't know exactly the area that it encompasses, but it is within, it's a field that develops within the proximity of the Earth, and that changes as the planets move in their orbit. Then those vibrational interactions between all these planetary bodies change also, and that changes how the energy is moved and what direction it's being moved for this planet, and what type of lessons that is going to be generated out of that.
Again, ever-changing positions of surrounding planets and also have a vibrational effect upon Earth and its inhabitants.
So, and this is all relative to the mass consciousness of a given area, Earth, for example, and the ever-changing positions of the surrounding planets, which have a vibrational effect on the Earth and its inhabitants.
Changes in Earth's rotation creates numerical changes, dictating a quantum release of vibrating energies. out in many directions to affect events for further understanding.
So as the Earth moves in its orbit, we don't understand this completely, but there's mathematical formulas associated with these changes as the Earth moves in
Why is it
in
mathematical
space.
formulas? Because the language of the universe is based in math.
Math is the language of God, and everything has a mathematical equivalent.
Exactly right.
And so
That's
as the
mathematical formula for putting it together.
As the Earth moves in its rotational orbit, then these mathematical formulas change, and that is related to energy, and it dictates the quantum release of vibrating energy or vibration out into many directions to affect events for our further understanding. And so it's all related.
It is a poetic vibrational dance, as Renee calls it, between all universal bodies, scripting the next act to be played out in the stage of life. That's Renee's poetic.
Well, the book talks about the quatrain, and this is mentioned at least a couple of times in the book, the quatrain, referring to events that are being lined up. And it's kind of like the word, it's this vibrational essence that goes out that is scripting events to come.
And there's many events to come. This is why we keep telling people what we do over and over.
And so, when we talk about quatrains, it's a poem that has every other line is rhyming, and they mention the quatrains. So they look at it, the spiritual guides look at it as kind of poetic, I suppose, and it's deliverance of vibrational energy that helps. It doesn't create the event. What it does is it creates the
stage for the event.
Right. It creates the conditions for certain events to happen, and it's all related to the position of the planets and their vibrational influence on Earth and its inhabitants. So we thank you for joining us on this segment.
I hope you take some of this into heart. There's a whole lot more to come, not just from us, but what's happening this year.
And if you want to know more about that, visit our YouTube playlist. And on that playlist is a section that is dedicated to the predictions. And if you're interested in the predictions and how to prepare, what to expect, visit that on our playlist on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to us. Push the subscribe button and hit the button or hit the bell. You'll get notifications that we've got new YouTubes that have recently been released.
Yeah, and our predictions just started. We just got the okay to put them out.
Toward the end of last year.
Toward the end of last year.
We were actually pretty reluctant about putting out the predictions.
And so take the predictions with other people in this world that are predicting logical things, not excitable, the sky is falling. But look at the predictions and contemplate them. Okay? You don't have
what
to
Kent's saying is correlate it with what other people are saying.
It's happening right now on this planet.
Most of these predictions were received from the ancients, who are ancient teachers of the Creator. They're spiritual beings. They're very high-level source beings.
So the predictions are not meant to scare you. It's meant to prepare you. And when you're prepared for an incident, you can handle it a lot better than if you're not prepared for it.
So we're going to save that for
Yes.
the prediction video. Thank you for joining us. God bless you on your journey to enlightenment, and have a good week. Thank you. Take care now.